Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy and Brian are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio. Welcome to Movie Film. It is episode 245. My name is Zachy Hassan. He is Brian Hall.
Hey, how's it going, Zachy?
I have a cold.
I'm sorry, man.
It's not COVID, though.
I know, we were saying off air, I was like, how retro.
It's just an old-fashioned...
Good old-fashioned cold.
I've forgotten what colds are like because I haven't had one in a little while.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. What is it, sort of like sniffles, sore throat?
Sniffles and, this morning my nose was bleeding.
Oh, really? Is it really dry up there?
I think it's just dry, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like like something out of a... Like I'm using like telepathic powers and it wasn't like that, but just enough like, oh, that's different. That's odd.
Yeah. You sure you weren't having any revelations or?
I may have been actually now that I think about it, but
Right.
I have revelations all the time. So I just took it
as only where you remember where your keys were, where your kids hid them or something.
It's like
boring. Small scale.
It's trivial revelations, trivialations.
That would be a good SNL sketch.
Well, it is an SNL sketch, kind of. It's Ed Glosser, Trivial Psychic.
Oh, right.
With
classic. That's
with Christopher Walken.
Right.
Which that sketch is a parody of The Dead Zone.
Right.
But I saw that sketch in 1992, 11 years before I saw The Dead Zone.
Oh, wow.
So it took me 11 years to get the joke.
Yeah, which is basically... Christopher Walken will shake someone's hand and then he gets a glimpse of their future. Right. But you it's not like, there's going to be a train crash. Don't get on that train. It's more like you're going to lose your keys. It's okay. You find them 2 minutes later.
That's right.
And the guy's like, that's it. And it's just a lot of those sorts of things.
You're going to drink coffee. It'll be too hot, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so great because it's just Christopher Walken being Christopher Walken.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's what you pay your ticket for,
Exactly.
But we got it for free.
Yep.
So what's going on?
Oh man, well, I've been watching more things than I've been able to in the past, which has been kind of nice. So I was catching up a little bit, and I'd almost forgotten about this movie, but on Apple Plus. Whoa, sorry, Disney. Apple Plus, is that even what it's called?
Apple TV Plus.
Apple TV Plus. On Disney Plus, over here, we watched Turning Red, the latest Pixar movie.
Yeah. This is like one of the biggest viewing numbers in Disney Plus history, apparently.
Is it really? That's interesting. That's great, I guess. And then I also feel a little bad for Pixar because it seems, Disney Plus has been leaning on all these Pixar movies to debut streaming versus going theatrical.
Yeah.
Right. Even though I think Buzz Lightyear is going theatrical, but Luca, and some Pixar employees have spoken out saying that this has been disappointing for them. Right. They work so hard on these movies thinking they're going to be theatrical releases and then they go to streaming, but it sounds like it's doing well for the service. So we'll see how that continues.
Well, all I know about this movie is that it's about an Asian family in Canada.
Yes.
And to that I say, well, how am I supposed to relate to this? I'm not even going to bother watching.
Right. Well, it's, what? Crazy enough, you're not the only person to say that.
And just to be clear, everybody should know this, but I'm totally kidding. But that was what a critic said on the internet, and he became the main character for a couple days there.
Meaning the old axiom, you don't want to ever be the main character on Twitter.
That's right. And this person found out why, to the point where I think we talked about this before. Even LeVar Burton was like, "What's up with this asshole?" Like, yeah. Which to me, that's like The Simpsons, where the PBS people are coming after Homer, and Elmo's like, "Elmo knows where you live." That's like LeVar Burton coming after you. That's what that feels like to.
Yeah.
Right.
It's funny.
LeVar Burton's like, I got a book here to beat your ass with.
That's what it would have been if he had been in that lineup, that PBS lineup. Yeah. I was like, you're going, butterfly in the sky, I can throw you twice as high or something. But yeah, it's about a 13-year-old girl, and one day she suddenly turns into a giant red panda whenever she gets too worked up, right?
Yeah.
Or excited. And it's funny because I wonder, and I didn't even see this original tweet or review. I don't even know exactly where they're coming from. But another movie we're going to talk about today is Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is about an Asian woman who
can't relate.
I was going to say owns a laundromat and is experiencing all of herself in the multiverse. And I was like, well, I can't say I can relate much to that either, but maybe one of my favorite movies I've seen all year. So I don't know. You find your way in the thing that you can relate to, and I think this movie. I thought it was cute.
Yeah,
I'd sort of forgotten about it, and so I was like, "Oh right, yeah, we're looking for something. Well, let's put that on." And I was like giggling the whole way through.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of energy, and that's. I think my sort of overarching thought was it sort of felt like Pixar extending its umbrella a little bit and allowing creators to make more specific films.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
And they still feel like they fit under the Pixar umbrella. Like it has like the Pixar hallmarks, like unabashed heart, right? And very tender moments, and the visuals feel Pixar-esque. But it also leaned really heavily into like an anime aesthetic, which felt very different from other Pixar movies. But it was like blended with that Pixar sort of feeling, and I thought the end result was really energetic and fun.
Well, and this is directed by Domi Shi, right?
Yes, who did Bao?
The short right?
Film, yeah.
Which and so in other words, she's really using her own heritage as a jump off point for these really fantastical stories, and so I don't mean to dogpile on this guy, but it does irk me. I'm like, how are you gonna use somebody's cultural background as a reason to not like something, which is what this person did.
Yeah, I and I haven't even read it, so I don't entirely know. But I mean, I wouldn't like. There are some movies that are made, say something like, which I have not seen, but something like The Babysitter's Club or something on Netflix, which I doubt I'm going to find my way into. Even though if I did have like a daughter or someone and I was watching it with them, I'm sure I would find something to, if the characters are good enough, you would sort of relate to the general thing they're going through, right? But that's kind of what it is, right? Like it doesn't have to be your experience, it's what these people are feeling.
Yeah, because it's all human experiences.
Yeah, and it's sort of like a really young, like tween becoming teen angst and dealing with that energy that butts up against your parents. And this certainly wasn't my experience, and I certainly have never turned into a red panda
that you know of.
That I know of, that I remember. Yeah. But no, I really liked the character. I thought she was fun. Her friends cracked me up. I thought the animation acting, I said it in the middle of the movie. I was like, this animation acting is absolutely hilarious. The expressions they give the kids and the way they exaggerate the voice acting. There's one of her friends just has this angry expression every time she speaks, even though she's like excited or happy or whatever. And every time that character spoke, I cracked up. And it's interesting too. This story felt like when it was over, I thought, oh, this is almost like Inside Out.
Okay.
Except we're not observing the emotions inside the head the whole time. We're watching the human and not seeing the emotions. Like we're just watching, like we know they're firing inside her head in there somewhere, which you get to see in Inside Out. But this is like, what does that look like on the outside, and how this person is contending with all these crazy emotions that some are old, some are new, and they're trying to make sense of it all,
Nice.
So yeah, I don't know that it's going to become like instantly as iconic as maybe some other Pixar films, but I looked it up, and this is their 25th film. And I was like, you know what? When you get to 25, I think it's cool that they're trying to make different types of stories, right? And they're equally as well done. I think Pixar just has like a seal, like a stamp that just basically, even the movies that don't, like The Good Dinosaur or something, right? Which I wonder if people even remember, but it was still, that movie wasn't bad. it doesn't get remembered necessarily as well as the others, but it's still good. Like there's still a bar,
Like I often say about MCU stuff, there's tends to be a baseline.
Exactly. And so I think it's cool, in between their bigger stories, like the Buzz Lightyear thing coming out this summer. I think it's cool if they'll, keep putting out some smaller stories in between.
I agree.
So, yeah. So recommend. I like that one. Let's see. Do not recommend.
On the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah. So we had a guest staying with us for the week, family friend, and we were just looking for something to watch. We'd come back from dinner, let's watch something light. We're like, let's put on The Bubble, the Judd Apatow movie on Netflix. And man, I honestly don't know what to say about this movie. I had heard it wasn't very good, but even Judd Apatow's lesser films, like I would say Funny People, I still admire them to a degree. They always feel, I think the main criticism, it's always been there, but it's gotten worse and worse or amplified, is there's probably a really good movie in there, but he refuses to edit the movie down to that film.
Because when you're Judd Apatow, you surrender final edit to nobody.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And I think his movies would be stronger if he did. But this one, oh man, this one definitely suffers from let's literally include every single thing we shot. I mean, there are like these montages of, so the premise is basically COVID hits and these actors who are part of a big blockbuster franchise are called to make a sequel. So I think it's modeled after Jurassic World and how they made their movie during the pandemic. Gotcha. And so it's like, what is the experience of doing that, right? So these actors get put in a bubble and they're in this really luxurious hotel and they have to go through all these protocols and maybe they don't even like one another all the time, or some of them have dated and they don't get along, and then making this movie, but they go insane because they're stuck in this place and they can't leave. And it's just, it's just not funny. I mean, that's the problem. This movie is just simply not funny.
Which, generally speaking, for a comedy, that would be a problem.
Well, yes. And then, you would at least exercise some mercy and make it 90 minutes. But this movie was over 2 hours long. And like I said, I mean, there's a couple moments where when they arrive, they have to quarantine. And so it does this montage of what they're doing during their quarantine. It's not particularly funny. And then they start shooting the movie, and then there's a little outbreak. So they have to quarantine again. And then we see what every single character is doing during their quarantine. And it's just not very funny. And it felt like, to me, less than a script. It might have been more of an outline. And maybe they're like, let's just hire some actors. I mean, they really did shoot it during, well, I mean, we're still in COVID, but you know what I mean? It was like early 2021, I believe. And so it's like, here, we'll really make a bubble. We're going to give an outline. You guys just be funny. We'll film it and let's put something together, right?
I mean, in theory, you put this cast together, you're going to get a few laughs.
See, and that's something occurred to me. I started, and I like all these people, by the way. I mean, there's no one in this movie I don't like.
Did you say who's in it?
Keegan-Michael Key, Karen Gillian,
David
Duchovny, yeah.
Kate McKinnon,
Leslie Mann,
Fred Armisen. Leslie Mann is in this. Get out of here!
yeah. If you, Iris Apatow's in it too, if you can believe that. Pedro Pascal. All people.
These are
like
funny people. These are funny people.
But here's the thing. Something occurred to me. If you look at Apatow's,
which is itself a Judd Apatow movie, isn't it? Funny People.
Yes.
I just realized that when I said
that's a good, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, go on.
But I was thinking about his earlier films that I found much funnier, like say 40-Year-Old Virgin or Knocked Up, or even the stuff he produced like Superbad and Bridesmaids and all those things. He had master improvisers in them. Yeah. Like Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd and, Kristen Wiig, like they're master improvisers. And I don't think any of these actors are. You know, so they like Pedro Pascal is a really great actor. And if you give him really funny lines, he is going to plus them and make them like sing and be great. But he may not be an improviser. And I think that might be why this movie never really exploded into what Apatow probably envisioned. I mean, they're going for it, right? And the other thing too is they try to give them stories, you know, like one of their, you know, Karen Gillan's boyfriend is like breaking up with her, and so she's upset and gonna try to deal with it, but it's like it just gets lost, like because the movie just doesn't care.
Sure,
you know, like it never. And then I think it revisits it at some point, like an hour later, and you're like, what? Oh yeah, you know, like if you'd whittled it down, if that really mattered, if that plot really mattered, you know, we would stick with it. But like I say, they just shot a bunch of stuff, shoved it in there, and it was tough.
Okay, so that's a big thumbs down on on the bubble.
Yeah, you know, Fred Armisen, and I love Fred Armisen. I mean, I think he's a genius, but like, you know, it's just not a good showing for any of them. But they do that thing at the end where they almost want to like turn it back on you, where the characters in the film, because they're making a film and things aren't going great, they're like, well, you know what? At the end of the day, we tried, and the audience at least has to respect that, right? And which, you know, I mean, they're basically like turning to you and being like, get off our backs.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I don't know.
Well, I think this goes to the sort of the Netflix problem, the Netflix of it all, which is exactly this, that they sort of give free rein to these filmmakers who, you know, shouldn't always have free rein.
Which is so weird, though, because, I mean, Apatow has quite a track record. Right? So I just, you know, it reminded me of those moments during COVID when, like, talk shows, it had to be talk show hosts out of their bedrooms.
Sure.
Right? And there was sort of a hunkered down feeling. We were all hunkered down. And I think we did forgive a lot more. What we were receiving, because we were experiencing the same thing. And maybe while they were making this, they were feeling the same way, hence that sort of last line. But now that we aren't sort of experiencing that, and you see a film like The Batman, which happened during, you know, all of COVID and turned out the way it turned out.
Why isn't the bubble more like The Batman?
Well, you're just sort of like, you aren't as charitable. You know what I mean? Like knowing what is possible.
Yeah.
And again, like, their resources may have been limited and they didn't have a lot of time, and let's just get together and try to throw something fun together. And it's like, well,
all right. So skip that.
Yeah. Skip the bubble.
All right.
Pop that bubble.
That's good. Well, hey, I saw a little movie. Speaking of streaming, I saw a movie on streaming. It's on Amazon Prime as of last week. It's called All the Old Knives.
Oh, okay.
And have you heard of this?
No. It sounds like like a couple getting divorced, and it's like, well, what do I get? You're like, you can have all the old knives.
That's good. That's good. It has nothing to do with this, but that's good. I like that. This is actually a spy film.
Ooh,
starring,
go on.
It stars Chris Pine and Tandy Newton, and Lawrence Fishburne is in it. Jonathan Pryce is in it.
Dude.
Yes.
No, all that. That sounds great.
A good cast. And it is a pretty good, streaming movie.
Gotcha.
Like I enjoyed it. I think the plot here is it starts in 2012. There's a terrorist hijacking of an airplane, and you have various CIA analysts involved, and Chris Pine and Tandy Newton are among them, and they're also a romantic couple. And then we jump ahead 8 years, and Chris Pine has been tasked with following up certain things about this attack from 8 years ago, and so he meets with Tandy Newton. They haven't seen each other in all that time, and they're just sort of sitting across from each other at a, they're in like along the California coast. They're at a restaurant, and they're talking and remembering. So it's kind of cross-cutting between the present and the past.
Right.
And it's a good character piece. This is the type. I mean, I like Chris Pine. I was thinking, I generally think he's good and he's always watchable, and this is certainly the case here. I think the movie is sort of vapor a little bit in that it engages you mostly when you watch, and then you basically forget about it afterwards.
Totally.
But it is, I mean, it does fill that niche. I mean, obviously, great performers, you're going to get something interesting out of it. I was thinking about how what was it, like 8 years ago when Chris Pine was Jack Ryan,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that movie just kind of came and went, but like he was pretty good in it,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the additional time to like ferment has worked well for him playing another spy role.
Sure.
And it's one of those like, oh hey, look, it's better than The Bubble from what you're describing, at least. I can't say from firsthand experience, but
yeah.
It does make me think though, like this is the type of thing that would have been a mid-level like adult alternative in theaters, and
Totally.
now it lands on streaming. It'll be at the top of your recommendations for like a week because of because it's new, and then the algorithm will push it down, and then it'll be forgotten about in like 4 weeks.
Yep.
Right? And I'm
forever.
like, that sucks, right?
Yeah, it really does.
I absolutely think there was a market for this type of film pre-streaming, but certainly, as recent box office history tells us, there isn't much of a market for anything that's not a franchise anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, speaking of recent movies, I attempted to watch Ambulance this weekend.
Yes, right.
I got about 20 minutes in, and then my brother called me, and I answered out. I went outside the theater because I'm not an animal, and he's like, "Hey, I'm at your house. Where are you?" And
oh no!
And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I remember I said I was going to come." And I was like, "Yeah, but you were speaking in abstract terms." And he's like, "No, I'm here now." And so at that moment, I'm like, my AMC is literally 5 minutes from my house.
Right.
And I have the A list, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking this is one of the advantages of A list. You can be like, all right, I'm coming, and just go back, finish it later, and it's not a big deal. So I've watched 20 minutes of Ambulance, and I liked those 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
It looked good. It was engaging. This is the latest Michael Bay joint, and it stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen. And I mean, this thing has just died at the box office.
Yeah. Which I want to see it. Ever since the trailer,
trailer, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sort of looks like Speed, directed by Michael Bay.
Yeah, right.
Which I'm into that.
I'm into it too.
Yeah.
So, based on those 20 minutes, I'm intrigued. So hopefully by the next time we record, I'll have seen it, and I can give you the heads up on it. But my point is, like, there was a time when Michael Bay was the franchise.
Yes.
And that's not the case anymore. And he kind of proved the instrument of his own downfall a little bit, because he did 5 of those Transformers movies.
Right.
And I feel like that played into this just kind of super franchising that we see,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it was a good 20 minutes, like I said.
Yeah, it was an interesting box office this weekend.
It really was.
Yeah, that debuted like 4th, but like Lost City hanging in there, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Sonic number 1, I guess, isn't surprising. Morbius was number 2, but had like a over 70% drop, I think.
Yeah, I believe it's now the biggest superhero movie drop in history.
Is it really?
From week 1 to week 2. Wow. The previous record holder was Batman versus Superman.
Interesting.
Yeah. So all that work Jared Leto put into getting into character didn't really
terrorizing the crew. Yeah, just
dude. There was an interview. I'm sure you saw it where the director Daniel Espinosa was asked specifically about the rumor that while on set, Jared Leto was so driven to stay in character that he would walk around with those crutches.
Yeah.
Even when they weren't filming, to the point that even if he had to go to the bathroom, he would go in these crutches.
Yeah.
And so it would become like a 45-minute ordeal just for him to take a leak. And so the interviewer asks him, he's like, yeah, that's true. The ultimate the solution they arrived at was to have him shuttled to the bathroom in a wheelchair by a crew member.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, all right, first of all, the delicate genius over here I'm like, is he sucking people's blood too to get in character? Like,
I know.
right? That's number one. Number two, what kind of a pain in the ass must that be for the people who are there on set? They're just pulling them cables. They're just like, look, man, I wanna get home tonight.
Showing up before him, leaving after him.
Yeah.
Not getting paid what he's getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This kind of thing drives me crazy because I believe that there is value in the method.
Yeah, some of it,
acting wise,
sure.
I think absolutely, but not when it's an excuse to just be an asshole to people.
Yeah, not at the expense of others.
That's it, man. That's it. For the amount of money Jared Leto was getting paid, which let's assume that it was in the 7-figure range, you can just pretend for a little while.
Yeah,
that kind of shit drives me crazy, man. I really.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. This irks me, Brian. I'm irked.
I'm irked.
Yeah,
I'm irked, Jerry.
It's really because again, I just think of the just the regular folks.
Yeah,
the cable pullers. They're just like, man, I just want to I want to see my kid tonight and go to bed so I can wake up in the morning and do all this shit all over again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it looks like they may not have to worry about Morbius too. So.
Yeah. I'm curious though. Like, what happened with do they because based on where that movie left off, I'm assuming there are intentions to bring the character back. So are they still going to do that? Like, how does that even work?
Dude, I don't even think they know.
That's probably a valid guess. Yeah.
I'm looking at the box office though, and I'm like, well, this is like a nice, not a bad crop of movies, and it's been a while. Usually, there's been like one solid thing, and then a couple things that have been there, like Sing 2, for like the past 7 months or whatever it's been. But I'm like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I'll admit right here that I will get to it, but I liked. Lost City, I thought was good. Ambulance, you said has a promising start. Batman's good. Everything Everywhere was number 6. That's good. Like, it's been a while since I think there's been that many good options.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. And Ambulance, that's a good point, because that's going to be on Peacock very shortly, within a matter of weeks, I believe. So,
wait, how long?
Within a few weeks, I believe. I think they were saying something like 17 days.
Whoa! Yeah. So not the 45 thing, huh?
I could be wrong, but I've heard 17 days from multiple sources, which leads me to believe that's the case. But yeah, crazy, right?
Because I know the Batman is going to HBO Max on the 18th of April,
like next week.
Yeah. Wow. So, but I still want to catch that in theaters if I can.
Yeah, well, I think there's just something about the theatrical experience. Anybody listening to this show knows how we feel about that.
Yeah.
But obviously there are options now that weren't necessarily there before.
Yeah, and that's going to work great for people in different circumstances. So
yeah, exactly.
Hey, if it works.
So all the old knives, part of Ambulance I saw. The other thing I wanted to mention, which I thought was just pretty cool, just for us old Chicago souls, I had a thing last week where for the Chronicle, I was covering an event at the Comic Art Museum in San Francisco, which is run by a friend of mine, actually, Andrew Farago. He's the curator. If you remember, way back in the day, we had him on the show. He talked about his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimate Guide. This is like way back. This was like 2015, I think that was a while ago. But regardless, they had an event to promote the second season of the Hulu series Woke.
Right. Oh, I've seen things for this on Instagram ads.
This is such a. So the show stars Lamorne Morris, who was on New Girl. He was Winston on New Girl. And it's kind of this goes back to what we were saying earlier, how it's like a hit streaming show, which I feel like doesn't mean much.
Well, it's almost hard to quantify.
It is, right?
What that is, because it has its audience, right? And other things that I don't know have their audiences, and they're doing well for the people they're trying to get. But it's as it gets more fractured and spread out. Well, fractured makes it sound bad, but you know what I'm saying, like more
diffused. Audience.
Yeah, it's almost harder to keep track of. It's like, well, this is hitting everyone we want to hit. So yes, it's good, but somehow it doesn't come across my algorithm, right?
Right, and that's the problem. We're all trapped in our own individual algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, the show is actually very funny, and it's based on the life of this cartoonist Keith Knight, who Lamorne Morris plays a fictionalized version of him called Keith Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very funny, and I think people hear the title and they get spooked by that.
It reminds me of that. What was that show, like Selfie or something?
I think it was called Selfie. With Karen Gillan was in that.
Yes, but you can understand why, for I don't know, SEO or something, where some executive thought that was a good idea, but sometimes a name, can be accidentally off-putting.
That's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, at this event, I had opportunity to talk to Lamorne Morris, and it turns out he is not only from Chicago, he's from the Chicago suburbs, right around where we grew up. He actually went to Glenbard South.
Wow.
I went to Glenbard North.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to College of DuPage.
That's crazy. Where we met?
That is where you and I met.
Yeah.
So that is a cauldron of Chicago creativity.
Wow, that's amazing. That's cool. So you guys bonded over that?
We just bonded over that. It was so random. Like these two Chicago people. Here we are talking in San Francisco.
That's awesome.
And it was just a cool experience. So I had a good time with that. And I hope people will check out the piece that I wrote for the Chronicle. I interviewed him, and I also interviewed Keith Knight, and we had a great discussion. It made for a cool piece. So
very cool. Well, good. That. Then I'm glad you can help spread the word and let people know it's good.
Yeah, College of DuPage, like I think back on that. I'm like, that was just I look back with fondness at that era of my life.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Right? Like, and part of it is because like the stuff that you and I and Sean and Paul and all, like we were just having fun. We were running around with cameras, shooting stuff.
Yep.
Remember when we were? Were you there when we were shooting something in like downtown Naperville? And somebody had a gun. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I was there. Yep. I was not a real gun, a prop gun. We were shooting like a Batman fan film, right? And so we were playing goons in an alley, beating up Robin, and we had guns. And then a police officer showed up. That was scary.
Wow, that takes me back.
Yeah, but oh my God, that's so it, right? One of us would have an idea, and so we'd pick up a camera and we'd run to a field, and then we just shot it.
So much fun.
Oh, the best.
Anyway, so that's what it got me reminiscing about. Anyway, just anytime he's talking about that era. I mean, it's hard to believe that was. More than 20 years ago at this point,
I know. You know what? Actually, I met with this young woman this morning who wants to get into screenwriting. And sometimes I meet with different people and try to encourage them or offer them advice and stuff. And she said she had this short she wanted to do, but she was a little daunted because it took place in a restaurant. She's like, how am I going to get a restaurant? And especially out in Los Angeles, because so many people want to shoot in a restaurant, and I'm sure they charge a lot of money and whatnot. And you're just reminding me that one day we wanted to shoot in a restaurant, so we just went to Seven Dwarfs.
That's right.
And we're like, hey, can we shoot here? And they're like, yeah, I don't know. I guess why not? And they just like put us in a corner while they were still operating.
That's right.
I mean, I don't even know if we could get away with that now, but just, I don't know. We didn't care, like we were just young and we were just like, well, why not ask? And we were able to do it.
It's good stuff. Those are good times.
Yeah.
Those are good times. All right. Well, Brian and I are going to reminisce a little bit more, and then we'll come back right after this. And we are back. And hey, Brian, here's a letter that we got from Matt James.
Oh, okay.
Matt is writing to us from across the pond in England. He says, hi there, England listener here. I love the podcast, and as big 007 fan, was wondering if you'd consider revisiting this film, referring to Spectre. He says it's one of the lesser Craig Bond entries. And he says, I know you covered the film on its release, which was, Brian, 7 years ago.
Oh, you pointed out from the last James Bond film that came out, the entire Star Wars sequel series had been released between the previous Bond film, which just blew my mind.
5 Star Wars movies and 2 seasons of The Mandalorian.
Unbelievable. Anyway,
He says, I think in a post No Time to Die world, it would be interesting to hear your thoughts on the film and whether they've changed over the years. And indeed, if No Time to Die itself has at all now colored your opinion of it, has age improved its vintage? And this is I think I talked about this. I revisited this just in the lead up to No Time to Die.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's gotten worse for me, honestly.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's just so long and it is tedious.
Yeah.
Like I would say that's probably my least favorite out of all the Craig ones.
And out of Quantum of Solace also?
Yeah, I think Quantum of Solace is short. So it has
it sounds like that SNL video from 2 weeks ago where they wanted the short ass film.
Yeah, right. I mean, seriously, right?
It's like, hey,
I mean,
100 minutes can't argue with it.
it gets it done. You know what I mean? It doesn't overstay its welcome. I think that for as good as Skyfall was, Spectre was a sharp step down, considering it's by most of the same people.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'd be down for it. I mean, like I mentioned before, Federica and I are going through the Bond films right now. So
yeah, how's that going? Where are you at right now?
I'm loving it. We just watched Diamonds Are Forever.
Oh, okay. That's where Sean Connery. You know how old Sean Connery is in that, Brian? He's 40.
Stop.
Are you serious? I swear to God, he's 40. I'm not making that up.
Oh wow.
He looks 72.
Yeah, I was gonna say he looks like 50.
Yeah.
So he's 2 years younger than me.
He's 2 years younger than you. but I think Connery makes that movie like more watchable than it probably should be.
Yeah, it wasn't one of my more favorite ones.
Yeah, but
I agree with that. Like, I don't know that there's been one, even the ones I haven't liked as much. When they're over, there's just an amount of charm that gets you through them, and you're like, well, I don't regret it. That was fun, you know.
Yeah, but that one was written by Tom Mankiewicz, who he later wrote Superman the movie.
Oh wow, okay.
Although he wasn't credited as a writer because Mario Puzo, you know, right. They wanted him to get the credit. But that has one of my favorite lines in any James Bond movie. That's where Bond is at the gambling table and Lana Wood shows up next to him. Yes. And she's got this, really revealing gown,
mm-hmm.
and she says, "Hi, I'm Plenty." and Connery kind of looks at her chest. He's like, "But of course you are."
Yeah.
And it says Plenty O'Toole, which is named after your father, no doubt.
Right. And then he, of course, later meets Bambi and Thumper.
That's right. Yeah.
Two sexy women who just slink about and do backflips and
that's right.
Beat the crap out of them, which is funny because I'm starting to have that thing, where I'm catching up to the Austin Powers films, or
oh sure,
the Hank Scorpio and The Simpsons, where I'm like, oh, that's where that is.
That's where that is.
And, yeah,
that's hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, Connery got a ridiculous amount of money for that, because they were in desperate need for him to just come back, so he just held them up.
Yeah, hey,
and good for him. Get what you're worth, right?
Yeah.
But now you're about to go into the Roger Moore era, and I really I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about those.
Yeah. I mean, those are sort of the high camp,
era,
right?
but not bad camp. I mean, you should know that it's about as far as you can get from the Daniel Craig era.
Sure.
And so and he's like, especially in 2022 sensibilities, Bond is like a borderline sexual predator.
Yes.
Well, I mean, he's already been that way, but it gets, it gets even more so. So I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on those.
Oh, what was kind of funny, by the way? So this was, I think, came out in 1971, if I'm not mistaken. So 2 years after the moon landing, and there's already they faked the moon landing joke, which I was like, oh, was that always a thing? I didn't know that.
It just never went away.
Yeah,
it stayed in the ether.
Yeah.
So as far as that goes, I will say, well, we'll add it to the list of commentaries. But I'm still trying to get a Godfather commentary. So let's get that one. Let's get that one out the door.
I was telling you, I believe in the Godfather commentary. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. So let's get that. We've actually, I was telling you before this is an odd year for us because we've only done one commentary track this entire year.
Yeah, it's already April.
which is kind of nuts.
I know. We'll make up for it.
We shall. We shall this summer. Hopefully, it'll be a fun one.
Absolutely. And thank you, Matt.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for writing in. And what I was saying to Matt via email is that I feel like GoldenEye would be the most likely next James Bond commentary that we did.
I look at the collection of Bond films as we're choosing the next one, and I am like anticipating GoldenEye. I can't wait to get to it because that was my entry into the Bond films.
Yeah, I know that you have a special affinity for that one. So,
and I think the game certainly is a part of that also. I mean, the
right.
What am I saying? N64.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeez, that was an era too, wasn't it?
Slappers only.
All right. Well, hey, moving on. A couple headlines here.
Yep.
Speaking of slappers,
I was just gonna say that's the perfect setup. Okay,
that's good. Yeah. I like it. Why don't you tell us what happened with Will Smith since the last time we talked?
Actually, everybody moved on, and I haven't heard about it since we last talked about it. No. Well, the Academy was going to take steps to figure out, what sort of punishment they should dole out for Will Smith, and he got ahead of it. Said he was. Oh, we talked about this last time. He said he wasn't going to, or he was going to.
He resigned.
But then the Academy, following that, still they have banned him from the Academy Awards.
The Academy was like, "You can't quit. We're firing you."
Kind of, yes. Banned him for the next 10 years. He cannot attend the Oscars for 10 years. So that's that. But he can be nominated, and he can even win an award.
Now, if I'm Will Smith, all I'm seeing is upside here. Because what they're basically saying is you don't have to come sit through the 4-hour ceremony.
Right. Yes.
But we may just give you an award regardless.
Yeah. I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, it's going to be interesting, too, to see when do people start putting him in movies again.
Yes.
Because I don't feel like I have a really great barometer of what everybody's tolerance is of him at the moment. Like, I know there's a lot of loud voices on the internet, but if a Will Smith, I don't know, like a Men in Black movie or something, whatever, I can't think of it, but like a popular movie were to come out this summer, would there be a huge backlash against it?
I don't think so. I read that Sony has hit pause on Bad Boys 4.
Right.
He had already gotten 40 pages of the script, and then he slapped Chris Rock, and suddenly Sony's like, hey, man.
Yeah.
And they pumped the brakes. And I'm like, is there any part of the audience that would watch Bad Boys 4 that will suddenly not watch it because of the slap?
Yeah.
Like, this is Brian, here's my point. This is such performative crap.
See, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because these are very different things, so I'm not trying to make them equal. But like, say, Mel Gibson, right?
Sure.
Like, he said some truly terrible things.
Yeah.
And, I think he has landed where he is going to land. Right? He's still making some movies, but they're not, big blockbusters anymore. And I doubt he ever really will. Right.
Right.
But and even if he did, there's going to be a really loud, voice of people that say, we don't want this, right? But with Will Smith, I wonder how loud any opposition will be. I think it will always be there because people like to be that person sometimes. Someone always chooses to be that person. But how many of those people are there actually for this Smith thing, especially as time goes on? That's what I'm kind of curious about.
I agree with you. I think whatever. I mean, let me put it this way: Bad Boys 3 was the biggest hit of 2020.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a weird year, but yeah.
I mean, granted, it came out in February, and like something else happened in March that might have impacted the box office of the movies. But whatever. Here's my point.
It did really well.
It did
all
well.
Things considered.
I mean, considering it was however many years after the second one.
Yep.
There is no universe where the fourth Bad Boys does not get made.
Yeah.
Merely because of the snap.
Right.
People got to relax.
But what do you think of that? The 10 years. I mean, does that feel right to you?
I don't know. I think that I guess, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I read an op-ed by Harry Lennox. You know Harry Lennox, the actor. He's
Oh yeah, sure. I was like,
from
that name sounds familiar.
The Matrix and the Batman versus Superman and stuff. And he said Will Smith should give back his Oscar in order to restore the honor of the ceremony. And I'm like, we're talking about the Oscars. Like, how much honor did it have to begin with? You know what I mean? Like, Harvey Weinstein still got his Oscars, and Roman Polanski and all these other people. Like, some objectively shitty people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't need anything personally, but like, I think what I would like, I think it would be nice to know that he and Chris Rock sat down and talked. And
Sure.
I don't need to see it. It doesn't need to be on television. I don't need anyone to write about it and prove to me that it happened, but to know that they had a personal moment together and they both come out of it okay, I think that would make me feel nice. You know, two adults.
I mean, I find it hard to imagine that Chris Rock is in any hurry to talk to him.
True. But I just like a real, not a publicist's apology, not some sort of performative red table, episode. Like, it'd just be nice to know that those two people, like I say, like adults, talked it out. Maybe they don't have to even be okay with each other, but at least knowing that they tried to, I don't know.
I think you should set up a beer summit. I think the three of you, Chris and Will, you can get some stuff done.
Would that be hilarious? So. If that actually worked, and I'm like, Tacky, I like call you in the middle of it, Tacky, help. They actually showed up.
Oh goodness. Yeah, but hey,
10 years, that's a long time. If they had said 5, I would have been like, wow, 5. But I was like, 10. Whoa.
I think he'll manage.
Oh, I mean, he'll manage. But
these are truly rich people problems.
Oh yeah, and I mean, 10 years is a long time. I mean, in internet memory.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, right? Who knows what was going on in 2012? I don't know.
Yeah,
the world was going to end, remember?
When isn't the world going to end?
That's true.
2010, you know what was 10 years ago? We were getting ready for the release of The Avengers.
Wow.
Like, that was weeks away.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I do feel like I cared a lot more about stuff 10 years ago. And like, based on my baseline level of apathy right now, I shudder to think what I'll be 10 years from now.
Yeah, wow. I didn't envision my life.
Yeah.
Once Will Smith is welcome back to the Oscars. I don't know.
Oh, man. Well, here's the thing, Brian. I don't know if you heard this.
What's that?
You know Casper? You ever watch Casper?
Yeah, Casper the Friendly Ghost.
He's a ghost, but he's friendly.
He's really cute, and he really wants to be friends with Christina Ricci.
That's right. Yeah. Well, there is a live-action Casper TV series that's in the works at Peacock.
Okay.
Because so based on what we were talking about before, that means it'll go on a streaming service. Nobody will watch it, but everybody will be watching it. Paradoxically.
Right.
It says this is via Deadline. Casper the Friendly Ghost is coming back to television in a brand new incarnation reminiscent of Riverdale's darker interpretation of the Archie comics. What? Because if there's anything this world needs, it's a dark and gritty Casper the Friendly Ghost.
This reminds me of that Simpsons joke with Richie Rich. They're like, how do you think Casper died? It's like, I think it's Richie Rich, and he realized that money wasn't enough, and he took his own life. I mean, that's whatever, man. I don't care. I really don't care. It's just it's
set in high school. Casper has a new family arrives in the small town of Eternal Falls, and Casper finds himself entangled in a mystery uncovering dark secrets that have been buried for over 100 years. And my thought is, how do you get much darker and grittier than he's a dead boy?
Yeah, I know.
Like, that's the whole deal.
I can sort of picture a version that is slightly darker than the Amblin one, where it's him figuring out what happened to him. Okay,
so it's like the Patrick Swayze ghost.
Kinda, but like maybe skewing a little younger. But this, I mean, who knows? It's going to be like, some 27-year-old man is going to play Casper, and Just like that Riverdale show.
Which is amazingly still going. It's kind of extraordinary that show, based on what I've read about every like tonal reset that it's had and everything else.
Yeah.
It's rather remarkable that it's lasted this long.
Yeah.
So clearly there's an audience.
Sure. I'm just picturing what it's going to be now, even. It's like some teenage girl is going to see him and she's going to be like, whoa, you're naked.
Yeah.
He's like, that's right, I'm a ghost. It's okay, right? She's like, yeah, it's all right.
Was that your audition to get on the writing staff?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. My phone's going to blow up. We didn't even think of that.
Oh goodness! All right, well, that's something to look forward to, or not, but
it'll be there.
It will be there on Peacock, waiting for you. You wonder, is that the type of show that's likely to make somebody be like, "Ooh, I should subscribe to Peacock"?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the audience now. Like, I imagine it's like well, obviously it's teenagers, but I don't know. I mean, I guess if your family has it, it's making something for you.
Right.
Right. If
they have it, but I mean, if the whole point is to drive subscriptions,
right,
then it's not really doing the job, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously there's some sort of, I'm certain any decision that's made on a streamer, there's some sort of Excel spreadsheet with numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, sort of how Netflix is making their films, right? Where they're taking metrics and
it's weird because like there's the Halo show, right? That's on Paramount Plus right now.
Right.
And that's an example of a show. Like my kid watches it. And he's like a big Halo fan, right? And
okay.
And we happen to have Paramount Plus, but I've only seen like an episode and a half, and it looks great, and it's enjoyable for the most part. I mean, I'm not super familiar with the game, but it's fine,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, this looks expensive.
Yeah.
And my thought is it worth spending all this money for a show that a fraction of the audience is going to watch, right? Because you're going to get the Halo audience, let's say, but you're not at all going to get the people who might check it out because it's already on the thing that they have, right? Like let me put it this way. Like The Witcher is on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
And how much drive-through traffic did that get separate from the fans of the game, right? Probably a lot because people have Netflix. But is Halo a thing that's going to drive people who are not already fans of the game to check it out? If not, is it worth the investment?
Man, I don't know. I mean, again, it could be something where, okay, Peacock, we got the parents, right? For whatever series is on there that they're going to watch. But it's like, how can we get the kids into this too? So when the parents are like, well, we think Peacock has run its course, the kids are like, you can't cancel that.
Yeah.
That's where my shows live,
That's where my teenage Casper show is.
I mean, maybe. I mean, look, if Riverdale was really popular, I can see where they're like, okay, well, what's our Riverdale? And it's go back into the Archie universe. Isn't that an Archie comic?
That is not. That is Harvey.
Oh, okay.
Get it straight. God damn it, Brian. You're just embarrassing yourself. And frankly, you're embarrassing me.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Zeki.
I wonder if people listening be like, oh my God. Oh, wow. Oh, geez.
Kids in the car and they slowly turn the volume down. They're like, maybe we should just be quiet for a while.
Well, that'll be a thing. We'll talk about it as it gets sooner. I'd be curious what you think of Halo, though, because you've played the game, haven't you?
No, I actually never have.
You've never played it? Okay.
No, because that was Xbox. I never had Xbox.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I was curious about it, and it's interesting that your kid likes it because I had heard that they changed it quite a bit from the games.
I mean, it seems like they got the gist of it. I mean, they show the guy's face,
right?
But I don't think it's not like a Mandalorian situation. So I don't.
I don't know. I don't know anything about
like they don't show the guy's face in the game because you're supposed to be the guy.
Sure.
And so, like, I get that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems fine. The main actor in the show is Pablo Schreiber. Excuse me, Pablo. Schreiber. That's right. Who is the brother of Liev Schreiber?
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's for season 2 of The Wire.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Of
was.
course, that's what you would know him from. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a show. I think it was called Lights Out or something, like a boxing show on FX. Do you remember that?
Then it sounds familiar.
And he played. Do I have that right? He played the guy's brother. Yeah, Lights Out. 2011. This was like a totally lost in the noise show. I don't remember anyone else talking about this or watching this. I think it's only 13 episodes. And I remember really liking it. I thought it was a really good sports drama. Anyway, throwing it out there.
There you go. Well, he is Master Chief on Halo. So
yeah, nice.
Check that out if that incentivizes you in any way. All right. Hey, let's take a short break. We got a couple new releases to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And we are back. And hey, Brian, you know who else is back?
Who's that, Zeki?
It would be one hedgehog who goes by the name of Sonic.
Ah, yes. Sonic is back, and he's got some friends this time.
He does. The first Sonic came out just before the pandemic.
Yeah.
That was one of our last pre-pandemic shows. So it is, circle of life here. You know what's funny is we've gone from through an entire pandemic. We've gotten a whole other Sonic movie. They still haven't released Top Gun Maverick though.
Wow, that's interesting. Think of it that way.
There's another weird metric.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, Sonic is back. I enjoyed the first one. I think you did as well.
Yeah. I thought it was really a surprise.
Very much so. Yeah. Very pleasant surprise. And I'm going to say I enjoyed the second one too. And based on the box office, a lot of other people did too, because it's doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think?
I loved it. I thought it was really, really fun. It's really cute, really funny. The first act where Sonic is kind of doing his thing and acting like a kid, he gets left home alone at the beginning, and I was cracking up. I mean, when he's playing with that dog and they put gel in their hair and he styled the dog's hair and his hair, I was like, this is hilarious. I just thought it was a really, like kids movies, it's like you sort of excuse them. You're like, oh, well, it's a kids movie. And they just kind of,
yeah.
But I thought this was really funny. I thought the script was really good. I thought it was well directed. I thought the action was really great. And Jim Carrey's really good in it. Like he's really interesting because if he wants, he could steamroll a movie.
Yes.
Right. And he's doing what is asked of him and he's plussing it in his way, but he's not completely taking the movie down with him. You know what I mean? Or he's not taking over.
Yeah.
And it's really, it's fun. It's fun to watch him do that. And I thought another thing that makes this movie stand above, other kids' movies is it actually seems to really care about its characters.
The human characters as well.
They give them real things to do and it spends time with them. Unlike, my complaint about Morbius was it had a bullet point list of everything that needs to happen. And it didn't care if you cared or it didn't feel like it needed to take the time or it didn't trust you to spend the time to show you why anyone did anything or why they felt the way they did or why they did anything next. But this movie actually spends a good amount of time with the human characters and it makes you appreciate them even more. And when they try to connect with Sonic, I care about him, of course, but I also care about them and their relationship with him. And that's just very surprising, which is sad to say, but I think that's why it makes this movie really shine.
I totally agree. I was thinking of Jason Lee in the
Alvin and the
Chipmunk movies, because I'm like, this poor guy. Like they shove him into a few minutes of these movies to be like, "Hey, Alvin, don't touch the thing," and "Oh, what are you doing?" And then they kind of shove him off, and I'm like, "Hey, a paycheck's a paycheck." Who can complain about that? But what I like is that, like, I genuinely care about not just James Marsden's character, but Tika Sumpter.
Mm-hmm.
I liked their whole separate storyline.
I did too. The wedding
stuff was, I wrote in my review, I was like, that, like, take the Sonic of it all out of it. I'm like, it's just a funny comedy.
Mm-hmm.
The whole wedding scenario.
There's a moment, I mean, without really getting into the spoilers of it all, but there's, a wedding and this stuff happens, and then Sonic is sort of imperiled, but it sticks with the wedding
right
for at least 10 more minutes.
Yes.
And I was shocked. I was, but I was enjoying it.
Right.
And because I did care about what was happening to this person. And as it was happening, I was like, wow, I can't believe they're not going back to Sonic right now.
Right.
And I kind of admired it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the whole, you know what's funny is in the very beginning, Sonic has his little superhero thing, and then there's like when James Marsden is like fishing with him, right?
Cute.
It was right, and he has like that. You have to wait for your moment or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had this. I was like, are they gonna kill James Marsden? Like I had that thought. You know what I mean?
That is, I never crossed my mind, but that now that you say it, yeah, I know why you thought that.
Because it's like the thing that he's going to remember at his time of, but then it's like, and I would have been upset if they had done that,
Totally. Yeah.
But the whole, introducing Knuckles and Tails and all that stuff. I thought they were very smart about the fact that the first movie did the lifting in terms of building out the world, right? And so now it doesn't feel like, oh God, they're just throwing all this stuff at us. I because we're already on board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Idris Elba, like totally going for it. Like you can tell he's like acting. There's moments at the end where sometimes you can tell like a voice actor. I'm actually thinking of video games, but in certain movies where they're like, oh, I gotta jump onto this moving tank. I made it. And you can tell they're just sitting in a stool in a booth somewhere. Yeah. But there were some things that Elba was doing where I was like, oh, he's like really doing it, and he's doing all the grunts, and
he's into it.
Winded, and he showed up.
One of the funniest moments for me was when they're in the Siberian diner, and a dance off breaks out.
Yes,
dude, I busted out laughing
when they open the door, because they're like, oh, we'll just blend in. We found these clothes and goggles, and they open the door, and there are these adorable little creatures wearing these big, heavy coats and their hats and whatever. That whole scene, I was laughing.
Yeah, they're really so well done.
Yeah, I totally recommend it. I mean, not even just for if you have kids. Like, I think it's just a really fun, cute movie.
Well, there we go. I don't know what else we really need to say about Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
If I can praise it even more, I'll just say one more thing. You know what's funny is at the end, there's a beam in the sky.
I was thinking of you.
Because I was like, no way, they're doing the beam.
They're doing the sky beam.
And you know what? It worked.
You embraced the sky beam, Brian?
You know why? Because it made sense.
Look at
right?
that.
Like, and it wasn't about just this thing shooting into the sky. It actually was representative of the thing they were after. And then that wasn't the end, like shut down the beam. It was, they get this gem, whatever. But I thought what was cool was the ending where the villain, obviously sequel, it's got to go bigger, and the villain constructs this big thing, and there's this big, ravaging of a town kind of thing. But it never felt too big.
Right.
Like, it was totally understandable. It's like, got to stop the thing. And the stakes of stopping the thing made sense. Sonic working to stop the thing made sense. It was very satisfying when everything played out. And it was so...
Hey,
two big thumbs up from me.
There you go, Brian's seal of approval right there.
Yeah, and you wrote your review with your kids, right, for this one?
Yeah, that was really fun actually, because essentially the Paramount people reached out to the people at the paper and were like, we want to see if we can get kids' perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
And so my editor reached out to me, and he was like, hey, we want to do a piece that incorporates your kids' reviews. And my first thought was, finally, these kids are good for something. It's about damn time.
Right.
And so, yeah, I recorded them each. I pulled them separately. I pulled them away, and I had them talking to my voice memo. I'm like, so what'd you think? And I interviewed them for like 3 minutes each.
Mm-hmm.
And my 8-year-old was like, it was good, all of it. And I'm like, okay, well, you're useless. And then And then I went up the chain, and my 13-year-old, he was like, I particularly liked the character growth, and he had a strong arc that really symbolized the epic journey he's been on. I swear to God, I'm not making any of that up. That's kind of what he said.
Wow.
And I was like, hey, I guess it's kind of rubbing off on him.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But what was cool, honestly, was like I got to show them their name in a newspaper.
Oh, that's
Which, like,
awesome.
isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's very cool.
So that worked out rather well.
Yeah.
So that's Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Thumbs up from the both of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess it works for all ages.
Is there anything else out that's worth talking about?
Nothing. Nowhere. No. Everything.
Nothing at once.
Yeah, never at all. Yeah, everything, everywhere, all at once. This was a trailer I saw before some movie like 3 or 4 months ago, and I'd never heard of it, and I was like, "What was that?"
Right.
Like that looks like something like that's a week one for me. Like I don't know what it is, but something about it just hooked me right from the beginning. And it's an A24 movie, so you never know, like if it's gonna blow up or if it'll just be critically beloved and just sort of go to a handful of theaters and that's all. And so I've been sort of shocked to see that the response has been, I mean, critical response is really great, right? But the audience response has been really great too. And it did, all things considered, I mean, it did really well this weekend.
Yeah, very much so.
For such a weird movie and a sort of a smaller movie.
I think the word of mouth carried it. I mean, it very smartly with a staggered release like this.
Yeah.
It really, like, the word of mouth carried it, because I watched it Saturday afternoon, and the theater was, I would say, 3/4 full.
Yeah, mine was pretty full too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we should say, I guess IMDb always makes it easy, but here's the summary of the plot. It says, an aging Chinese immigrant is swept up in an insane adventure where she alone can save the world by exploring other universes, connecting with the lives she could have led. So yeah, that's it. But no, I mean, this is a really wacky movie. I mean, basically, yes, like it's, this woman, and she runs a laundromat with her husband, and her husband is gonna, serve divorce papers, and she's literally leading like her worst life.
Yeah.
Right. The worst possible outcome of all the decisions she's made. And she is basically then pulled into a janitor's closet, and someone possesses her husband's body and says, there are many yous. There's multitudes of yous in different timelines, and there's a dark presence out there, and you have to tap into all your potential from all your different outcomes if you had done different things with your life and fight this great evil. And that's the movie. And it, for me, I loved it because it really goes to town with all the possibilities of that. But then at the end, it really becomes a human, heartfelt story.
Yeah.
That, like, made my eyes water and made me smile and made me feel something really genuine when it was over. And it's like, what? I mean, movies like this just don't come around that often. And
That's
when
right.
someone can take something so ambitious and stick the landing and make you walk out feeling something, I mean, those are the movies we're always hoping for.
Yeah, so, I mean, just going back by what you're saying, right? Like it's so refreshing to just see something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And all the homages and inspirations are plain to see.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so enjoyable to see it repurposed into this unique package.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Ke Huy Quan.
Yeah.
Who we know as Short Round and Data from the Goonies.
That's right.
My goodness, like no one else could have played that character.
He was fantastic.
It's such a specific character who has to have these, traits and like sort of a kindness and a genuineness, but not be weak,
right.
But just be kind. And I'm certain I'm bringing what I already feel for him as an actor and what he's meant to me in films from when I was a kid. I was thinking about that during it. I was like, I already love him, and it just made me happy to see him again. And I mean, everybody is fantastic in this movie, but he especially, it just made me so happy. Like seeing him in this movie, and he's so great in it.
He gave an interview recently where he talked about the fact that he kind of walked away from his acting career,
Yeah.
in the late '80s, mainly because there weren't any roles
Mm-hmm.
for Asian men, and he watched Crazy Rich Asians and just felt this FOMO,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and and you watch him in this, and you're like, we missed out on so many decades of performances from him.
Yep.
That was my thought. I mean, because he hit every beat
Mm-hmm.
that he needed to.
Yes. When he's playing sort of the confident version of him, when he's playing the sort of more meeker version of him, and then there's action. I mean, this is all in the trailer, like the action required of him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess he worked in stunts for a while.
That's right.
But yeah, again, you see this in the trailer, but him fighting with his fanny pack, and it's really awesome. It's really fun. But I had also read that this was such a small scale film. They only had 39 days to shoot, and the directors, the Daniels, as they go by, Daniel.
They did Swiss Army Man a couple of years ago.
Yes, which is also really good.
Yeah.
But that action scene, they said, typically you'd get 5 days to shoot that, and they did that whole thing in 1 day. So it becomes even more of a marvel, just the smaller budget they had to work with. They didn't have a huge VFX team. They basically had a really small team that the directors worked with more intimately and even poked around themselves with, tweaking effects and whatnot. It's amazing what they put together.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the plot line itself, I mean, I feel like, first of all, we don't want to say anything because this is really just a movie that's best experienced. But even
Yes,
post spoilers, like it almost defies a thorough dissection,
Mm-hmm.
because it's such a. I was telling my wife, it's like a movie of feelings. Like you go on this whole roller coaster, and then you just kind of sit with it. And certainly for me, I saw it 3 days ago now, and I've just been thinking about the way I felt
Mm-hmm.
at various points. And I mean, you can't help but reflect on your own life as you watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's about pads not taken, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about every this that leads to that,
Yeah.
It's so poignant, right? But it's so funny, and it just hits so many just bullseyes.
Yeah. And just approaches one could take
Yeah.
to things, and different people have different ways of handling things, and how some ways of handling things are appropriate in some instances, but maybe others might be more beneficial to others and to yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing, like this movie where people have hot dog fingers. You could say all this, about it. Again, I don't want to say too much, but that's in the trailer. But like,
by the way, I did not recognize Jamie Lee Curtis. I
really?
didn't I was like, she looks familiar, and then I saw her name in the end credits, and I was like, oh well, I'll be damned.
You know what? Actually, I'm when Federica and I saw it, there were 2 guys behind us, and they didn't know either.
Okay.
And we were both like, oh, like shocked that they didn't. They thought it was Jodie Foster.
Oh, really?
And then when they saw the Jamie Lee Curtis, we're like, wow, how could they not recognize her? But then, hey, I mean, if you say it, then I believe it.
Guilty. Yeah.
Maybe I just knew she was in it.
I didn't know. Yeah. I mean, I had really avoided as much as possible learning too much about this movie. So you wanna talk some spoilers?
Yeah, because I wouldn't want to ruin anything from this movie, but I also want to let people know, because we're talking about how emotional it is. It's also really weird. So like, I think people should know that going into it, like they're going into something incredibly wacky. But why I think it's so great is that you get to enjoy the wacky, and you get to feel some really genuine things as well. So that would be my non-spoilery summary.
That works.
Yeah. All right.
Spoiler.
Spoil away, Brian.
No, I was gonna say. So it turns out it's about a mother and a daughter. I thought that it's just it's very sweet, and it reminds me a little bit of what was that movie? Soul, right? Where the Tina Fey character sort of gets lost in that land, sort of overcome by a kind of a depression, and she becomes sort of like a dark figure just wandering aimlessly.
That's right.
And that kind of happens to this woman's daughter, and it's her having to, it's sort of, the movie says like she needs to stop this evil, but really it's like she needs to connect with her daughter, right. And I thought it was and it's also about more than that too. I mean, there are people who are sort of taken with this darkness and behaving in a certain way, and I love that the climax of the film is for our hero, I've forgotten,
Evelyn,
right, played by Michelle Yeoh. I can't believe we haven't even mentioned yet.
That's right.
And her seeing that it's her husband's attitude that ends up winning people over all the time and making people feel better, and seeing the way that he deals with the angry tax agent, right? And she, this tax agent is just willing to just completely shut down their family business, and just after, she doesn't even hear what he says to this woman, the Jamie Lee Curtis character, but is like, he fixes everything just with his kindness. And so I loved seeing her then apply that kindness in a fight, right? So when everyone's attacking her, what does this person need?
Right.
And it's as simple as one person's got like a back, needed a back adjustment, and she fixes his back, and he's like, that feels better, and just, symbolically representing that, she embraces the googly eyes that she hates and puts the googly eye on her forehead. I mean, it's so weird and so touching. It's just, I absolutely love that. And that goes back to what I was saying about Ki Kwan, like that gentleness that he exudes, where it seems like a genuine kindness and not like a wimp.
Right.
I just don't know how many people could have portrayed that.
Yeah.
And but then what I loved too at the end was when she then finally connects with her daughter. It is the kindness that she needs to exude. But then, do you remember there's a moment where the husband says, like, she says, the mother says something a little tough to the daughter, and the dad's like, hey, let's not do that. She goes, no, like, just a minute. And she did, and then she does. She needs to say something a little tough too.
Right.
It can't always be gentle. There has to be some toughness also. And that's, it's not going to be fixed overnight, but then there is the beginning of some repair with the daughter. And I loved the moment too. Then, she, at the beginning, she has a hard time accepting that her daughter's gay.
Right.
And it's, her not wanting to make any connection with the girlfriend, or not wanting to introduce the girlfriend to her father.
That's right.
And at the end, we see that the girlfriend has driven them to the tax offices, and then in her own way, she basically shows that the girlfriend has now been accepted by being like, your hair's too short, you need to grow out your hair.
That's right.
And you're like, oh, she likes her now. That was just so unique to this story, but it's just moments like that, right? I mean, this movie's filled with that, and that's it's so rich. Oh, the one more thing I want to say was the rocks, when they go into all the billions of universes that could possibly be. It's always the mother trying to pursue the daughter and basically talk her out of like this nihilism, right? And even in this world where they've not evolved past being two rocks,
right,
on a hill, and it's like you see them communicating through subtitles, right?
So great.
And then even in that world, the daughter is so sad that she rolls off the cliff, so the mother rolls after her.
Right.
Like, just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous stuff.
It's I was talking about it with my students today, and I was like, we got multiverses palooza lately.
Yes, we really do.
It's kind of extraordinary how we just hit this sweet spot where suddenly everybody's multiversing it up, and it's almost like a film school assignment. Like you go off and make a multiverse movie, and one version of it is Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yep.
And the other one is this.
Yeah.
And they're all valid, right? It's
absolutely. I love that they both exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What about you? What were some moments that sort of stood out for you?
Oh, the rock stuff was great.
Yeah.
But the views, like I loved how they found a way to ground the multiverse stuff. Like it never felt silly.
Yeah.
Like they found a way for you to like in universe logic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, there's this and this, and the whole thing about how you have to find a jump pad based on doing something ridiculous.
Yeah.
So funny. Like,
yeah.
But it like totally makes sense.
Yeah. yeah.
So there's like the thing with the security guard, who's trying to who how do you say that? He's got to put a thing in his nether regions.
Right.
So it's this ridiculous fight sequence.
Yes.
But you're like totally tracking with it, you know?
Yeah. Like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah. Like, okay, this is what we're doing, you know?
It was almost video game like in a really clever way, where for her she can harness her talents from different hers. Right. Like each her has a different skill. Like one may be an actress who is an action star. So that one knows, martial arts. And then another one is a singer. So she has great lung capacity. So if she's underwater, she can harness the one who's a singer. Right. But I love that when she's harnessing that ability, that person is affected by whatever's happening to her.
Right.
In the universe we're following, so if she gets bumped in our universe, so to speak, in that universe, she could be an actress at a movie premiere, but get knocked into the person next to her in her seat.
Right.
Just so imaginative.
So right? Very clever.
Yeah.
Very clever.
Yeah.
And you mentioned her earlier, but Michelle Yeoh is, I mean, this is the type of role she has clamored to do.
Yes.
And she's, I mean, nobody disputes her talent, but really, like, I've never seen so much range from her.
Mm-hmm.
In all the different ways in which she plays this character and her versions,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, there's so much to it. I mean, it's something I definitely can't wait to watch again.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's just a million things I missed. There's actually that moment then where, she's facing the camera and it just flash, like all the different hers. Actually, I don't know about you, but it started hurting my head.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
You feel like you're in her space,
Yeah. But great stuff. I'm really glad you liked it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. There's Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, we did it.
And we did it. I'm excited, and I look forward to. You know what I look forward to most? I look forward to not getting a sequel to this.
Yes.
Like, isn't that nice? Like, I look forward to whatever the Daniels are going to do next, but I know it's not going to be part 2 of this.
Yeah, we've got the perfect story.
Yeah,
and now I can't wait to see another different story from them.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
Yeah. So with that said, anything else you want to add about anything?
No, I think that's it. I mean, I just think this is again. I mean, if it's you're feeling safe where you are to go to the theaters, I think this is a really cool moment where there's some good options. Honestly, I mean, Sonic is very different from this movie, but I thought they were both great. And so, just depending on what mood you're in, it's nice that there's some good options out there.
There we go. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good place to wrap this up. We will be back soon, hopefully, fingers crossed, with our next commentary track.
Yeah,
I am eternally hopeful that we'll get there.
We're hoping to bring the gabagool.
Let's see how that goes. So hopefully soon we'll be back with that. Anything you want to hype up while I got you?
Puppy Dog Pals, as always, on Disney Plus, Disney Junior.
There we go. And as for me, as I already mentioned a few articles of mine that are up, you can read my review of All the Old Knives at IGN. You can read my review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 at the Chronicle, and also my piece about the Woke season 2 premiere. So check that out. And as always, folks, if you enjoy what we're doing here, please send us an email at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com. You can also hit like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast, and message us there. And as always, please go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review, leave a star rating. Every little bit helps, and it would mean a lot to us. And with that, on behalf of my partner, Brian Hall, my name is Zaki Hassan. This has been Movie Film 245. We'll catch you next time.
Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Jackie and Brian are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio.